Okay, let's run.
Your mission, should you choose to accept it.
It's a quest. It's a quest for fun.
Well, The Rock says, why don't we just cut right to the chase?
Okay, now he wants to get together. Well, he wants to talk.
I want you to do me a favor. I want you to tell all your friends about me.
It's showtime, folks!
What are you?
Greetings, salutations. This is, and I quote, the live weekly show where we introduce you to some of the best creators from all over the world, and we find out more about them by taking your questions. I'm your host, Ron of And I Quote Channel, and our guest on this week's episode is going to help us. Let's broaden our minds. Lawrence? No, it's not Lawrence, but please welcome content creator, bookstgramer, TikToker, superstar. She's lighting up the internet in more ways than one. Sarah Smith is in the building. How are you?
Hi, thank you for having me. I'm so excited.
Oh, you're quite welcome. We're happy that you are here, Sarah. We're also happy that you are here who may be watching or listening to this program right now, so treat yourself. Do not forget to like and share if you're watching us live or on a replay. Thank you so much for doing so. If you have any questions for our guest of honor, drop it in the comments, leave it in the chat. More than happy to take those as they come in respectfully. But in the meantime, if you don't mind me saying so, Sarah, what were some of your favorite books or writers growing up as a Padawan?
Oh, man. Growing up, I was a big Tamora Pierce fan. Read a lot of Tanith Lee, and I read a lot of Anne McCaffrey. I'm a dragon girl. I grew up in like a dragon girl household. I'm the middle of three girls, and like two of us are huge readers. And I stole my sister's fantasy books constantly. So it's like a lot of Mercedes Lackey and Tanith Lee and Tamora Pierce and Anne McCaffrey. So.
Goodness gracious. You know, I can't believe I'm about to admit this on national television, but I've never heard of any of those names. I'm so sorry.
Oh no!
I'm very, very sorry.
Household names too.
No, I've never heard of them. Never ever heard of them.
Oh man, Anne McCaffrey was like my running joke is that she's the horse girl of dragons. She like invented dragons in like a horse girl way. I can't really explain it, but like
Really?
It's science fiction. She like uses science fiction to talk about like dragons and create her big dragon world. It involves space travel and interstellar travel, and like she was like the original. You want to talk Fourth Wing? Like Fourth Wing, she walked so Fourth Wing could run, and like she really started the whole dragon girl situation. And then Mercedes Lackey's like and Tanith Lee are like the unicorn women. They are like the women who did unicorn fantasy. Like unicorn fantasy used to be so big in like the 80s and 90s, and then it's kind of like it's fallen away. But I feel like fantasy does that in cycles. So yeah, they're all like those are the queens of like their respective mythological fantasy creature.
Well, one of the few times I remember, maybe not so much reading about what are known as unicorns, but seeing them on the big screen, or, well, small screen anyway, was in the movie Legend with Tom Cruise. You know, there was a unicorn in that one with Mia Sara, and then there was, trying to think of what other movie I saw this unicorn in. It was Shrek, maybe one of the Shrek. It was an animated film. I can't remember what property it was. But
Last Unicorn?
Well, I never saw that, unfortunately.
Great movie.
I'm sorry, but I can't comment or speculate on that one, folks. But I've seen a few unicorns here and there, and then people have mentioned them in passing, like Shy McBride in Gone in 60 Seconds. You know, unicorn, fable creature, one with the horn, impossible to catch. I'm like, oh, okay, I got you. Thank you, Shy McBride from Gone in 60 Seconds, one of the greatest action films of all time. And if you haven't seen that one starring Nick Cage when he's at his least cagiest, go and watch it. Go and watch it, because Gone in 60 Seconds is an underrated film. And let me tell you one other thing. Before Paul Walker and Vin Diesel were hanging around fast cars and all the other crazy adventures they got into, there was Gone in 60 Seconds, okay? So they started the whole car is cool, let's go steal some, or let's go race, some cars thing before Fast and Furious came out. Because let me give you a history lesson. Gone in 60 Seconds came out at the dawn of the millennium in 2000. Fast and Furious came out in 2001, okay?
Oh, snap.
So Nick Cage and his crew, yeah, that's right. And by the way, Angelina Jolie was in the movie. Hey, Angelina. They started it. So just saying, Gone in 60 Seconds is a very much underrated film. Very much underrated.
It really was when he was like trying to not be Nicolas Cage for a hot
Yes,
minute.
yes. It was still a great movie. It was a great movie. That was the opening we played at the top of the show. Is him doing the Let's Ride thing. That's from Gone in 60 Seconds. I don't know if you caught that reference or not.
No, I didn't. It's been quite a few years since I've seen that movie. So, but I like saw it when it came out, and then like maybe 2 years later. And then I had friends that were super into like the Fast and the Furious movies. I saw the third one in theaters. It was the Tokyo Drift one. It was
Yes.
absolutely ridiculous, but it was so much fun. And we were yelling at each other in the parking garage, like, let's race. And we're all driving like our Honda Civics out of the out of the garage. And I'm like, we're going the speed limit, you guys.
Oh man, I wish I could have been there, because otherwise you could have gathered a group of friends together and had them. One of them says, "Ready, set up," and then I'm going to be the one in the middle pointing the fingers. Go, because I love Tokyo Drift. I love that movie. It is criminally underrated. It is one of the best entries in the franchise because it's about who is the best. It's not about stealing DVD players. It's not about stealing a bank. It's not about stealing cars. No. It's about who is the best of the best. That is why I like that freaking movie. And by the way, that movie turned 20 this year, and we did a 20th anniversary watch along a couple of weeks ago. Not just for that one, Sarah, but we did a 25th for the original, The Fast and the Furious, and then we did one for the 15th anniversary of Fast 5. Okay.
Oh man, that's already 15 years old. No, that came out like a couple years ago.
No, it came out. I'm sorry to disappoint you and the audience out there, but it came out in 2011.
Oh, that's why everything on me keeps popping when I stand up.
Yeah, I feel you on that one, honey, because every time I get up in the morning, things are creaking and cracking, and that red light is burning my brains. You look a little stressed. Oh, I'm stressed. Anyway, I'm a Seinfeld fan. Go sue me. The other thing we're a fan of is this show, so don't forget to like and share. If you have any questions for Sarah, let us know in the comments. Let us know in the chat. Let's get this one out of the way now. What were some of your favorite TV series, past or present?
Oh my God. I actually am like a big consumer of things. And I've been asked this question before, which is like, how do you have the time to do all of it? I don't know. $1 million. I couldn't explain to you where all the time come from. So I magic it into the world. I was a huge anime nerd as a kid growing up. So a lot of my like older shows are more anime. I watched like Fushigi Yugi and Gunbuster and Yu Yu Hakusho, and I was a Sailor Moon kid and I watched Gundam Wing. So that was a lot of like my childhood TV shows, but I also was like a big horror kid. So like Are You Afraid of the Dark was a staple for me, and like Goosebumps, the TV show. And
yes.
I watched a lot of like, that's
Are You Afraid of the Dark? Are you kidding me? Now me and a group of your friends, we got to get together and say, submit it for the approval of the Midnight Society. I call this tale, drop the dust into the fire. Can we please just get around a campfire and tell stories? Honestly, me, you, let's get me, you, Maya. We'll get who else can we get? Can we get ZB Seal can come out to this one? Yeah, we can get Hype Queen, Fire with Freckles, Hype Queen Brit. Let's get her out here.
Yep.
Get her out here. Honestly, ZB Seal can come with us. Miles Lyon can come with us.
We have a great time.
Yeah, can we tell campfire stories? Because Are You Afraid of the Dark is so good. There are some really good episodes of that too.
Oh my God, I've rewatched it like embarrassingly more recently than I probably should admit out loud.
Is that right?
Like within the last 5 years, I've rewatched the whole series, and even then, like some of the episodes, I'm like, our parents just like left us unattended to watch this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was the greatest.
Children.
It was the greatest block of television at that time, because on Saturday they called it SNCC, Saturday Night Nickelodeon Programming. So you would have Keenan and Kel, all that. Are You Afraid of the Dark? Yep. Animorphs, which by the way, Animorphs is criminally underrated.
As The Secret World of Alex Mack, everyone forgot about that one.
Which by the way, Larissa Olenek is doing conventions now, so you may want to check your local listings to see if she's going to be in your area, because Larissa Olenek has done conventions before and she continues to do them to this day. She's going to be in Hartford, Connecticut in October for 90s Con, as it's so aptly titled. Yeah, my friend and I were planning on going, but unfortunately, I don't think the schedule/finances are going to be able to line up, because I'm already going to RetroCon in Pennsylvania in September, and I'm going to be, spending a little bit of coin there. So I don't know if I'm going to have time between that and a couple weeks later to go to 90s Con at the same, between the two.
That's a lot.
Yeah. Plus, Oaks, Pennsylvania for me is a lot closer than Hartford, Connecticut, because I'm in Maryland, USA. So,
okay, cool.
Yeah, I'm an East Coaster. Yeah.
I'm a West Coaster, but I was born in Connecticut. So I lived in Connecticut until I was like 12, and I still have family in New York and Pennsylvania and all over there. So in Back Mountain, actually.
Really?
Yeah.
East Coaster originally. All right. Well, then why don't you just hang out with us sometime? You need to fly in over here and hang out with us.
I every time I go back, I'm like, oh man, I miss it here. And even though like I left when I was like 12, there's like a weird thing in your blood that like they're running jokes that you never really move away from the East Coast. You just take a break. And like I'm starting to see it. And I'm like, oh no. But I love Seattle. I'm Seattle based, and I love Seattle. It's like all my friends are here. It's my home. I love it. I love the drear and the gloom.
Yeah, your sister Maya's out there, so it kind of helps.
I've got a bunch of my like Pacific Northwest book friends, which was really cool. And we have like a huge bookstagram and like book creator community out here. But then like the funny part is like no authors come here on their tours. It's like we never get stopped at. And I'm like, are you kidding me? Seattle's a big city. We have a big reading community, but we never get put on the tour.
Maybe they don't like the fact that it rains all the time.
It's got to be 90% of it. They're like, well, it's going to be rainy. It's not. It's a light rain. It's more of a mist.
I mean, I don't know. As our good friend Eric Draven once said, "Can't rain all the time."
And he's correct.
That's another really good comic book movie. Speaking of movies, what are some of your favorite movies, past or present? Because you talked about a little bit about your TV series obsession. Which, by the way, the fact that you still watch Nick programming after all these years, that just warms my '90s love and heart because I'm a '90s kid. So that's wonderful. But on the movie side of things, what would you say are some of your favorites, past and or present?
Oh, so currently I watch a lot of horror movies. Like I'm a big horror movie person, and I've been told that is both surprising and unsurprising. I don't really know what that means. But like Midsummer is a big comfort film for me. I love The Wolf of Snow Hollow, it was fantastic. I loved The Long Walk. It destroyed me so badly. I recently saw Obsession, and that was really, really good. And I really liked Weapons. Weapons is also awesome, and it's in my rotation. I watch a lot of like scary movies, and I'm a big like Studio Ghibli person. So I watch like Nausicaa's one of my favorites, and then Princess Mononoke is my favorite Ghibli film of all time. And I watch a lot of that stuff. So I don't like I've been told I have kind of bleak taste, which kind of tracks with my book taste too. So
I was gonna say, you ever have a potential love interest or a boyfriend or a loved one ever come up to you and say, do you like scary movies? They ever drop the ghost face on you, or
Oh no, but they do try to like, because I have a very effervescent personality, and they're like, oh, we can go see this. Like, it's a scary movie. I don't know if you like that. And I'm like, have you watched this Turkish film called Baskin? It's horrifying. You'll hate it. And so it's always like a really fun new thing to get into when you first start seeing someone.
Yeah, I was gonna say, is that the because it varies for everybody, and there's no right or wrong way to do it because we're all different, right? We're all different.
Oh yeah.
But if you ever on a date, does one of your potential suitors ever say to you, "What's your favorite?" Is that like his first question? Like, what's your favorite genre of film? Or does he say, "What kind of movies do you like?" And then when you drop the whole horror stuff on, they start to.
Oh, I get that a lot, but usually it's because I get really
away.
passionate and like I get kind of energetic and super like into it, and then I'll start talking about like, oh, and then the lore of like this thing, and they'll bring up a movie, and I'm like, yes, and then this, and then I'll start dissecting. I'm a very analytical person too, so I'll start peeling apart layers of things. I'm like, and then the symbolism of this, and then like the how they talked about this theme and this and this and this, and like it's just I will get really into it. And some people are like, you're very intense, and I'm like, yes. And it used to be mistaken for like, you're really angry, and I'm like, no, I'm really passionate. Huge difference.
Yeah, no, it it makes complete sense. So, because if someone told me they like scary movies and they kind of delved into why they like them so much, it will kind of wig me out a little bit. But as soon as I like get a better understanding of it, I think I'll be more comfortable with it. I don't know. Someone told me this a long time ago. They said, "Oh yeah, I like horror. I like different kinds of horror movies." I'm like, "What do you mean?" She says, "Well, I like the Alien, the Predator movies, and, some other monster movies like that kind of stuff, like kaiju. I really like Godzilla. Monster movies like kaiju, Godzilla. And I'm just like, okay, like that stuff I can hit it. But once you start talking about back room, green rooms, obsessions, and fatal attractions, and basic instincts. Or Wild Things, or even something that's somewhat, well, maybe not recent because it's 27 years old. Oh my God. Cruel Intentions. Then we're like, where are we going with this here? I'm just curious.
It's just, the thing I like about horror, because I read a lot of horror books too.
Sure, go ahead. Yeah.
And like the thing I really like about horror is it's, especially with movies and like TV shows and things like that, it's an insight into the collective subconscious anxiety of society at the time. And like I really love that because it shows you like what were we all collectively anxious about, what were we collectively afraid of. And like books are interesting because they're a lot more timeless and they prey on those more like deeply primal fears. So like what are these very human individualistic enduring fears that we experience, and like what is a manifestation that might look like for someone. So I think horror is a really interesting way to like pick apart your subconscious and to pick apart like collectively as a society, what are we afraid of, and like where is our biggest anxiety at. Like I think that's so much fun, and like it's just, I think that's really interesting, and especially because like with obsession in particular, I really liked it because you can kind of see like Gen Z is starting to come into the primary audience of the horror space. And so you're seeing what they're anxious about, which is like someone having the wrong impression of who they are, or like being built up to be this thing that they're not. And then through like dating and like what that looks like for them and how that's scary and stressful for them. It's just, I think it's so interesting to be able to like see the insight into different periods of time through the lens of horror. I think it's super interesting.
Well, welcome to the Horror Genre Analysis Show with Sarah Smith. I just happen to be here. My name's Ryan, by the way. This is and I quote, if anyone's wondering or caring. Don't forget to like and share. Any questions? Let us know in the chat. By the way, a friend of mine, Abby, says, shout out to you. What's up, Abby? It has been forever since I've seen you. Where have you been? What is going on with you? What's new in your neck of the woods, if you don't mind me saying so? But thank you, Abby. Appreciate you. And then Jamie, another friend of mine, says, hello, Sarah. Oh, I love that response to what you just said a moment ago. So there you go. You got fans here. And then laughing my ass off. Ryan, laughing my, please ask her. Ask her what? Like, what do you... what? Oh, wait a minute, Jamie. Are you talking about what I think you're talking... I don't know. I don't know what the pink handprints mean. I have no idea, Jamie. Be more specific. Be specific. Anyway, enough about that. Jeez. So, yeah, no. Listen. I respect the horror genre. I just not be the biggest fan of it, but I have seen enough horror movies in my time, like The Poltergeist, The Exorcist, the Lon Chaney Jr.'s The Wolfman, Creature from the Black Lagoon, Phantom of the Opera. Yeah, the one with. Oh gosh, the one with Claude Rains. The Invisible Man. That's a good one. That's a good one.
The powerhouses. I think there's like a foundation if you want to understand the genre. And I'm a big fan of like understanding things. Like with books, romantasy was never like my thing. I never really got into it, but like I made a conscious decision where I'm like, okay, I need to like figure out the genre at the very least so I can understand it and defend it. Because I'm a big believer in like read whatever you want. So I like consciously engaged with the genre more. And I think movies and TV are the same thing. If you're ever like, I don't understand why people like science fiction, I don't understand why people like horror, go and like watch the big ones, like the grandfathers of like the pillars of the community in those particular genres. Like I think it helps give you this understanding of like the big concepts. And like when you get into those smaller movies or smaller books, you start to understand like those smaller, like the more picked apart versions of science fiction and horror and all that stuff. So I'm a big fan and engage with things that are new to you.
That's nothing wrong with that. New experiences, new genres to explore and all that stuff. Jamie says if she likes the mental visualization of health on film, she could have. Is it Skinamarink? Am I saying that right, Jamie?
Skinamarink. Yes, me and Skinamarink. I should have loved it. I should have loved Skinamarink. I wanted to love Skinamarink, and then it just like I felt like it was maybe 45 minutes too long.
Once again, I've never heard of this. This is all news to me, Jamie. It's news to me.
Oh, I'm deep in the genre. I'm very deep in it. But like, if you ask me about action films, I couldn't really name any. So I know whatever's Jason Statham's in, he's that one.
You've never heard of John Wick?
Oh yeah, I do like the John Wick movies. Those are.
I was gonna say, come on. It's Keanu Reeves pushing 60, but he can still break a guy's neck.
Yeah, and he honestly looks almost the exact same as he did in Point Break. He's like maybe a little more lines.
Well, he's got the. He's got the facial hair now. He's got the thick beard to prove. He's got the salt and pepper look a little bit, but
in a good way.
Yeah, and let me see. Jamie says I'm totally representing trauma. She's laughing. She's giggling. Yes, I know. Oh, I like John. Thank you, Jamie. I'm glad I'm not the only one who likes John Wick around these parts of 100 Acre Wood. But hey, like I said, my tastes are a bit different, just a bit different than Sarah's, and that's all right. Listen, I grew up on action films. I grew up on Indiana Jones films. I grew up on James Bond films because my dad, by the way, Dad, love you, miss you. He took me to see a lot of these movies when I was younger. That was a father. It was a father. I mean, every parent has the father-son thing, the mother-daughter thing, whatever it is. In my case, between my dad and myself, we went to the movies a lot. So he would take me to see all the action films like the James Bonds, which, by the way, The Mask of Zorro, masterpiece of a film. Words of our good friend Scorsese, absolute cinema.
Loves it.
It's absolute cinema. And then Jamie says, I love it. Well, who doesn't love Indiana Jones? Are you kidding me? Kidding me? Yep. But yeah, I grew up on those movies. So that's, I can talk to you in, action, suspense, drama, comedy, because I grew up on Jim Carrey and Robin Williams movies. So I can talk that language. I can talk the Disney language because everybody can talk Disney. I mean, I've seen so many Disney films. It's insane. But, when it comes to horror, it's like down here in my expertise level, but other genres are like way up here. And that's okay. It doesn't matter. It's all right. Survivor.
my dad, like he and I, because before he passed, like growing up, it was like we would watch Star Wars regularly. My dad was from England, so I watched a lot of stuff that a lot of people never heard of. Like I was watching a lot of Monty Python stuff, and like that was what I kind of grew up on. And my dad was like my sci-fi nerd father, so like I was watching Alien when I was like way too young. I think I was like 9 when I saw it for the first time. My dad's like, she's fine, and my mom's like, don't let her watch that. Yeah. I think that's where my love of horror started, is probably watching Alien way too young with my dad.
Chest bursters and face huggers, which is an alien term, by the way. Those are all terms. Jamie has a question. Before I ask you a question, Sarah, Jamie has a question. What is Sarah's top 3 horror films of all time?
Ooh,
top 3. Top 3. John Carpenter's A Thing? Okay. That's a great one, by the way. I've seen that one. So, yes, I can comment on that one, Jamie.
That's a good one. That's a spectacular one. So we got The Thing. I'm going to say Midsommar. I just thought Midsommar was amazing. And honestly, I think I'm going to go with the first Saw movie because it revolutionized the genre.
James Wan.
Yep. It was like James Wan's like, he's now a powerhouse because of this movie, but it changed the genre. It was the introduction to splatter cinema, which I could talk about how like I think that splatter cinema is a direct reaction to, and just bear with me, to 9/11 and how we reacted to seeing the sudden violence, because all of a sudden we're seeing like these not to be crass or like violent, but like we're seeing beheading videos when we were kids online, and we were uncensored, and we were bearing witness to all this incredible violence. We didn't know how to process it. And I think the emergence of splatter cinema is like in direct response to our attempt to process like this extreme visual violence we were suddenly exposed to. And like it kind of helped desensitize us to it a little bit as we like tried to figure out a way how to navigate it as a collective society. So that's my big like philosophical, really analytical way to look at the Saw movies.
We should just rename this show "Analyze This" with Sarah Smith. But anyway,
that's what I do walking around my house out loud to myself. So perfect.
I mean, if you want, we could. Jamie says, "What about you, Ryan? Top 3 horror?" Well, here's the thing. Like I said, not the biggest fan of the genre, but I've seen enough. Number 1 would be, because I had a really good experience seeing this in the theater. This is from many years ago, Sarah. I don't know if you remember this or not. The Exorcism of Emily Rose.
That scared the hell out of me.
Is so good that it felt real. It felt real. Everywhere I turned, it looked real. It felt real. The acting was real. The characterizations were real. It just creeped me out so much to the point where it says based on true story, but dude, this is some messed up shiznit if it really had, like, it's really messed up. But anyway, so I was, by the way, these are no particular order, Jamie, so I'm going to give you 3 here. The Exorcism of Emily Rose, that's 1, right? 2, because I don't want to copy off my friend Sarah's paper and say John Carpenter's A Thing, so I won't do that.
Oh, you can't. It's a great movie.
I don't want to cheat and copy off your paper, but I will say something that's similar to John Carpenter's A Thing. Poltergeist. Poltergeist was really good. Poltergeist is really good, okay? That was very, very good to me. And then door number 3. I'm trying to think of door number 3 here, Jamie. Give me a second. Because I want to go. I can't say Paranormal Activity. Well, the thing about Paranormal Activity, the ending of that scared the living heck out of me. But
yeah,
when Katie looks into the camera and like eats it, I was like, holy shit. Language, sorry. But anyway, we mess up, folks. We mess up. What is a 3rd one that really? I'm trying to think, because there's some really, really good. Okay, I don't think this is. It's not a horror movie, but it's a classic. And in today's world, Sarah, this may seem tame to a lot of other things we've seen in our careers. I'm going to say Creature from the Black Lagoon.
Yeah,
I love it. I love that movie. Yep. I love it. I absolutely love it. It's the first Universal monster movie that I ever saw, and I saw it at a Comic-Con where the in-suit actor from that movie was at the Comic-Con. He was there. He had a panel. He had a panel before the movie started, and then they aired the movie, right? They played the movie. And then as soon as the movie was over, my jaw was on the floor for 6 weeks. Took a bunch of paramedics and lifted off the floor. I kid you not. And then number 2, Sarah, and then as soon as I went to the convention the next day, I bought that sucker on Blu-ray at one of the vendor booths in the hall.
Nice.
Because I freaking love that movie. It's freaking awesome. It's so... The Gill monster, like, you can say it's cheap, like it's cheaply made, whatever. That film was made in the it was made in the early 50s, and it holds up, man. And here's another thing about movies. This movie specifically, Creature from the Black Lagoon from 1954, it's only 75 minutes, and they accomplish so much in 75 minutes of footage that most movies don't, because in today's world, as we all know, they like to spend $600 million with big budgets, big visual effects. And what do they do with the box office? As we saw with the last few movies in the last several weeks, Supergirl. It crashes and burns.
Yep.
Crashes and burns. So do me a favor. Stick to practical effects. Stick to real sets or sound stages, like in Pinewood Studios in London, for instance. I'm just speaking that as a for instance. And just give us a good story. Don't worry about visual effects. Don't worry about the budget. Don't worry about $600 million on opening weekend. Don't worry about that crap.
Like,
tell a good story.
Like, the last couple of like huge releases and like movies that have really gotten like big have been these movies that are like shoestring budget, but they really emphasize the story. And like you see it in video games a little bit too. Like the games that have recently come out that have really popped off have prioritized like either what it feels like as a player to be in the game or whatever like a strong story is. Strong storytelling is like, that is always where it's at. Human beings are naturally storytellers. It is how we connect across time and generation. Like that's why I love books so much. Like storytelling is a fundamental piece of the human experience, and like being able to share good stories is what we care about more than anything. There's like some deeply rooted part of our brain that goes thousands of years back, but like that's why the Iliad and the Odyssey are still so fascinating to us. That's why the foundational story of Mesopotamia is still like an interesting topic for people. We storytell. It is naturally what we do. And so like if you prioritize a good story, you're always going to come out on top. The budget can fall through the face of the earth and you can wind up with like shadow puppets sometimes, but like people will still take that if it's got a good story. I'm very passionate about that.
Yes! Hell yeah! Hey, come on, baby! Come on! Yes! Come on! Ah! Yes! Yes!
Yep. Huge fan. It's storytelling. That's what we do naturally.
We got to give Sarah Smith some fist pumps, y'all, because that's just what you just said is so damn true. Yeah. Let's let Sarah run the whole thing. Honestly, she knows what she's doing. Isn't that right, Jay? Because Jamie's talking about it in the chat here. She's going nuts. Paranormal TV was fun to watch, and thanks for letting me interact with you both. Yeah, Jamie, we're happy that you're here. We're happy that you're hanging out with us, chilling, relaxing, whatever. I don't know. You're giving us all weird emojis in the chat that I don't understand. But yeah, we love you all. Don't forget to like and share if you watch this live on a replay. Thank you for doing so. And if you have any questions for Sarah's very deep analysis of life and genres, or storytelling for that matter, yeah, please, because clearly she knows a lot more than I do, which is insane.
I just think all the time. It's
hard for me to admit.
Theory, but like when I was hanging out with some friends of mine, like it's fun in theory, but like when I was hanging out with some friends of mine in an Airbnb one time at a vacation, we woke up at like 7 in the morning.
7 in the morning.
Yep. And I was like, hey, do you guys want to know everything there is to know about the history of feminism in medieval Italy? And they're like, no. Lovingly, we do not. And I'm like, well, you're going to learn anyway.
Yeah, my excuse would have been we're on vacation, Sarah. I don't get up until after 10:30 in the morning. What are you doing?
Yeah, the fact that anyone was awake was kind of amazing. And I was like really excited about it.
Yeah. If I'm in vacation mode, I'm not getting up until after 10 because we need to sleep in. Okay. It's the summertime. We got to sleep in. It is, well, it's not sleeping in all day. It's just I prefer to get up, around 9 or 10 rather than getting up at 4, 5, or 6. Because I'm already, for me personally, just to give everyone a little bit of behind the scenes here at Antiquote Studios, I get up every day not on weekends because weekends don't count. But during the week, I get up every day at 4:30 in the morning, 4:30 a.m. 4:30 a.m. for my full-time job. Jeez. Okay, so I'm already breaking myself in 30 million pieces 5 days a week, and then when I reassemble myself, like the T1000 advanced prototype, does in T2, where all the liquid pieces come back together and it becomes the T1000 again. That's me over the weekends being like, I'm back. It's just like, don't mess with me. So, I don't get up until around 10 on weekends, Sarah, because I get up so early every single day and it breaks me. So you need time to recuperate from that, right? So I work Monday through Friday and then have my weekends off. Thank you to my full-time job for that, because weekends are meant to be for resting, for having fun with your family, your friends, your neighbors, your coworkers, whatever. Or you could just sit on your couch and read a crap ton of books, which is what I prefer to do, because what's it called? What's it called? What's that thing called? Yeah, the TBR is like at 190, 200 right now. And then the shows that we do on the weekends is like 2 to 3 shows a week. So I'm constantly promoting myself, promoting others, because sharing is caring. Okay.
Yes.
Sharing is caring. So, it's not an easy thing to do. it's not easy being green. All right.
Yeah.
It's not easy when you're Kermit the Frog and you have to be green every day. It's not easy being green. What's his name? Who's this young fella? Rick says, I do get up for free breakfast if they have one while I'm on vacation. Yes. So if I'm staying at a really, really ridiculously good-looking hotel, hashtag not a sponsor of this show, and they have a breakfast bar that's open until 9:30, 10 in the morning, I will make sure I get my keister down there around 9-ish, maybe 8:30 if I'm lucky, and get myself some Belgian freaking waffles, pour as much syrup on that sucker as I can, soak it up like the sun, wash it down with ice-cold milk to build strong bones every single day of the week, twice on Sunday, and then for a side dish, Rick, I would either have white toast with butter, or it would be a plain or sesame bagel with cream cheese. All right? That's how we roll in Breakfastville.
Oh yeah, I'm a sucker for free breakfast. I'm a morning person. Like I am actually a morning person, so I will naturally get up before my alarm. My alarm goes off at
my Lord
5:30, and I'm up at 5. And on weekends when I sleep in, I'm up at like 7, 7:30.
That's amazing. You got more guts than brains. More guts than brains. Yeah. Rick says these are solid choices. Thank you, Rick. Sarah and I know what we're talking about when it comes to Breakfastville. Okay.
Oh yeah, huge breakfast fan. I love a breakfast. I love a hash. I'm a sucker for a hash. If there's like a hash involved, I'm there. I'm ready.
Is that right?
Oh yeah. Give me potatoes and meat and eggs and cheese, and I'm like, perfect. It's bowl. My favorite genre of food is bowl. So
is it?
Yeah, I'll throw rice and chicken and vegetables together, and I'll just be like, perfect. That's dinner, and I'll just squidge it up and eat it with a spoon. It's great.
Or is a certain word is pronounced a different way, and it's our friend Samwise Gamgee who says potatoes. Anyway, yes. Did anyone see?
I love a potato.
I know potatoes. We've had one. Yes. What about second breakfast? Anyway, what about lemons, toasties, afternoon tea? Anyway, I can quote certain movies all day, Sarah. That is why they call me Ryan the Quote. But anyway, not about me. It's about you. Yeah. I know it goes with the name of the show. Hence the reason And I Quote was such a good name when we picked it out. When exactly did you start writing?
Oh man, when did I start writing? So I've been writing off and on pretty much like my whole life. I've always been a big reader as a kid. It was never like a thing I wasn't doing. So like reading's always been a part of my life, and I feel like that goes hand in hand with like starting to write. And everyone writes something all the time when they're a huge reader. But like I started taking myself more seriously probably like 2 years ago, I think. And I started planning like stories in my head, and like I started plotting it out finally. I think if you talk to every writer, they've got that story in their head that it's there and it changes shape every few years, but until they sit down and write it, they never really like get it on paper, and they never really iron out the details. I finally sat and I ironed out the details of it. And like, that's when I said, okay, let's get serious about this. And like, let's actually do it. What happens? And so I sat in front of my laptop and I cranked out a manuscript in like 3 months. And then I kind of let that one sit for a little bit, and I worked on another one. And my second one, I got really excited about. I got really into. I based it off of like a bunch of different factors. Like it's very real and personal, and I was very excited about it. And that's the one that I'm like, yes, let's refine this and let's move forward with it. So now I'm actually moving forward on that one, and I'm revisiting my first one because I have changes I want to make. But I think I'm actually going to keep pushing through with it too. So I think that's going to turn into a bigger series. So I've been writing my whole life basically, but I only started taking myself seriously probably like about 1.5 years ago, 2 years.
Wow. You hear that? It's the winds of change. Anyway.
Oh yeah.
What would you say are some of the rewards about being a writer in general, for what you've seen or heard thus far?
Like some rewards?
Yeah, just in a general sense.
Oh. Yeah.
In a general sense.
So I mentioned how like I think storytelling is a fundamental part of human experience, and Maya actually phrases it really well. She's like, everyone should write. It doesn't mean you should write a book, doesn't mean you should get published. It just means that like you should be writing something. And I think creativity is a huge part of the human spirit, and like anything that we do is creative. Like human creativity is so essential to like who we are, that I just think like writing is the best way for me to storytell. And that's like the biggest reward for me is I get this like, I have a very vivid imagination, and I get to take what's in here and put it out there and maybe like share it with people. And people are like, oh my God, that inspired me to do this. Like I get to watch the chain reaction of my decision to write something down, inspire other people. Even just like knowing I did it and not reading it has inspired some of my friends to do stuff. But like, I just think the reward is the creating, and like it is creativity. Cause like art to me is not a noun, art is a verb. And like, art is the whole process of creating, but the creation at the end is not the art. It's everything that went into it that makes it art. And so like I just think the biggest reward is that the creation process, and like getting to actually put something out there. And now I just have to stop being a baby and put it out there.
Oh boy! And the words of our good friend Morgan Freeman, she's right, you know. On the flip side, of it though, what do you think are some of the challenges about being a writer in a general sense?
Oh God, everything.
Everything? Now I don't know if we have time to analyze every little nook and cranny of this house, young lady, but let's.
Yeah. Oh, if I had to pick some big things, I think that like if you are not writing for yourself, if you're writing with the goal of like publishing or putting something out there, I think it's understanding the craft of writing as an expression. Because like it's one thing to write it all in a way that makes sense to you. It's another thing to write it in a way that makes sense to a general readerscape. And like when you're trying to write it in a way that makes sense and communicates all the visions in your head, that's one of the biggest challenges. I think I have a few friends who are like, I've struggled to write fight scenes, and I happen to be pretty decent at writing fight scenes. And like they're like, I just don't know how to get it out there. And that's their biggest challenge. And so like I realized I'm really bad at descriptions of places, which you would not think is the case because everyone wants to describe the place. I'm very good at like metaphor and feeling, but like I trade them action scenes for physical descriptions. And like I think that's the biggest challenge, is figuring out how to communicate all those moving parts in a way that's consistent, like has your voice, and like actually gets a point across the point that you're trying to convey to other people. So like actually getting the scene to be pictured the way you hope it's pictured, I think is really tough. And it takes time to refine it. And I think like in order to be a good writer, you have to be a good reader, and you have to read how successful people have managed to do that in order to enhance your writing. So I think that's probably my biggest challenge, is getting it communicable to other people that are not me.
Yeah, and that's a fair thing to say too. Reading to a certain degree, read before you write, because when you read other people's books to see how they word stuff, or if you enjoy a certain series, for example, and you want to continue reading that series and read how this author put this universe of theirs together, so to speak, it makes a lot more sense. Because our good friend Bobby Nash, who's a crime fiction writer, you can find him online at bobbynash.com. The Snow series for him just came out of nowhere because he was working with a publisher who says, we need an idea for a series, just give us something. And he had to kind of think on the fly, and he just threw like 3 different pieces of an idea together, and they mixed in the soup, and it ended up becoming Snow, which in this case is the Abraham Snow series about a former undercover operative who gets shot in the line of duty, and then he has to retire from that life, and then he ends up working for his grandfather's private security firm in a small town of Georgia. So
cool.
Yeah, who'd have thunk, right? It just he talked about it on the show we did the other night. It's called Freewheeling Fridays. If you want, I'll send you the link so you can go and watch it. But yeah, this is his series, the Snow series. So it's basically a mixture of which, by the way, the cover artist, Jeffrey Hayes of Plasma Fire Graphics, when the look of your book matters to you, puts these promotional materials together. Look how thick this is. I mean, when I look at this is like a movie poster. It's not just a cover of a series. It's a movie poster. I'm like, Bobby, is Snow coming out next week? Because I want to see that. He's like, no, it's just. He's like, no, it's just a book series. I was like, bro, you're making a movie, man.
It's a graphic novel. I like that. I think that's cool.
Yeah. And this is, by the way, a combination of different storylines like meshing into one poster. Hence the reason it's got so many different things going on in the action here. But yeah. So yeah, if you're a fan of crime thrillers, if you like crime fiction with a little bit of style and flair, check out the Snow series. The full name of the character is Abraham Snow. That's his full name. Go to bobbynash.com. He's a really good friend of ours. And Bobby, you're the man. Keep doing what you're doing. You're kicking ass and taking names, breaking necks, and cashing the checks, brother. So
nice.
Yeah. I know.
I have to check him out then.
You should. You really, really. I mean, everyone who's listening to this program known as And I Quote should, because Bobby Nash, to me, for me anyway, I can't speak for everybody. Bobby Nash is my favorite writer of the moment right now, and his Snow series is my favorite series of the moment.
Okay.
I've been a fan.
To me.
It is. I've been a fan of this series for the last couple of years since I started to get to know Bobby, and he and I have been on numerous shows together, and he and I have become BFFs, and he's all the way down in Georgia, while I'm all the way up in Maryland. So, just because we're 800 miles apart doesn't mean we can't be BFFs. It's just a fact of life. So,
my best friend lives in California.
Exactly. So check out the Snow series, ladies and gentlemen of the jury. I think you're really going to enjoy it. Any other pieces of advice you would offer to aspiring writers out there, Sarah?
Oh man, so many. The first one is just write it. just write it. The hardest thing in the world to do is like just sit down and write what you want to write. Like, don't worry about, and I talk about like writing for other people in order to get your audience and like communicate things to your audience. But as far as like writing itself, write because it's the book you would want to read, and like write because you just want to get the story out. Having a terrible first draft to edit is better than having no draft to edit. You like just get your first draft out there. It is not supposed to be good. It's supposed to be kind of terrible. I can't look back at my first draft and not be like, what happened to me? Who was this girl? Who wrote that? So just do it. Like, just sit down and write it out. The other piece of advice I'd give you is keep track of your plot threads. I know a lot of people, it's called pantsers. Like, they just kind of write by the seat of their pants. They just write. Yes, love that style. It works for a few people, but you still have to keep track of what you're doing. So like, make sure you have somewhere to keep track of the spine of your story and the little events that have happened so you can follow your threads all the way through. It's very important for developmental editing.
Well, she's got a point. Once again, this is why we pay Sarah Smith the big bucks on this show. So keep bringing her back, fellas. Keep bringing her back. By the way, Kevin Davis is here. He says, I love this show. Well, we're glad that you like it or love it, Kevin, because Kevin Davis is a cool cat. You know why? Because Kevin Davis isn't only a great podcaster, he's also a really successful writer, and he writes comic books.
Oh, sweet.
He also writes books, so he writes everything. So Kevin Davis, look him up. Good guy, good dude. And then he says, I'll be Ryan's next favorite writer. I don't know about that, Kevin. I don't know if you're going to be able to beat Bobby Nash, my homeboy from down in Georgia, but you can give it your best shot, partner. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can give it your best shot, because I got a stack of books behind me that I've yet to read. One of them was recommended by our good friend, what was it, Maya. The book is, I don't know if it's called The Book of Fallen Leaves? The Trail of Fallen Leaves. Yeah, The Trail of Fallen Leaves. The House of Fallen Leaves. Sorry. Long title, Maya.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you. So there's that one that I picked up because of her, and then I picked up The Price of Fear by Miles. Is it Miles Lyon or Miles Leon? I don't know how you pronounce his last name. But
I've been saying Lion, so I hope
Lion, Miles Lyon. So I got The Price of Fear behind me, and that was recommended by both. I think it was a combination of Maya, you, Hype Queen, Britt, because Britt's always talking about Price of Fear. Oh my God, she won't shut up about it. No, it's all right, Britt. We still love you. She's like really, because someone said this in another Discord the other day. They were like, "Yeah, I got bullied into buying this book." I'm like, "Yeah, don't worry. I mean, she bullied me into buying it too." I was bullied. Anyway, bully. Anyway.
Oh yeah.
There's a song for you.
Buying books I love.
Yeah, it's great, isn't it? Kevin says, "No, I can't beat Bobby Nash." That's why I said next favorite. Nice to meet you, Sarah. Oh, look at that. Kevin Davis is happy to meet you. Isn't that special? That's Kevin, give Sarah a follow on social media, brother. Links are in the description. Check it out, man. You might. I think you're gonna like the way you look after watching or listening to Sarah's stuff on Bookstagram. I guarantee it. Anyway,
I'll ruin your TBR though. Sorry, I've been called a ruiner of people's TBRs. I'm so sorry.
Yeah. Well, Maya, I think it's a combination of both. Maya, Britt, and you are starting to really ruin my TBR for me now. So we're gonna place the blame on 3 different parties here, guys. 3 different parties.
We'll share it. It makes a lighter load.
Yeah, share. Like we were saying before, Sarah, sharing is caring.
Yes, all boats rise with the tide, and even some of us that try to sink it.
I don't want to sink the ship. Anyway, you sunk my battleship. There's a board game that we played when we were kids.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you remember Battleship, right? Do you have any favorite board games when you were a kid? Did you play D&D? Did you play a lot of Dungeons and Dragons?
Shockingly, I did not play a lot of Dungeons and Dragons, which
really
surprises people. I played a lot of the Game of Life. I really like what is it? God, I always call it the Walking Dead game. It's not the Walking Dead game. It's a zombie game that's very similar to that. I played the heck out of that with a bunch of my friends. Mostly I'm more of a video game than a board game person, and but I did play a lot of Life when I was a kid, and I don't know what it was about that game that just I loved that when I was younger. I was a very weird kid.
You didn't play Sorry or Pop It or Bop It or Simon, or what was another one? There was Battleship, there was Guess Who, there was Mousetrap.
Nope, not really. Not too much for me. I don't know. I was just not like
Dear
a board
heavens.
game kid. I was like a books kid and a video games kid, and that was it.
I mean, the funny thing about Life is, speaking of Life, not the game, but life, just life in general. When I was a youngin', I had my parents buy me all these books at the Scholastic book fairs that we had when we were in school, which a lot of schools still have to this day, by the way, which, by the way, keep that up, guys. Scholastic book fairs are gems. Really good stuff.
Necessary.
Mm-hmm. They are necessary, so you're absolutely right. So when I got the catalogs, I would always rush home and tell my mom and dad what books I wanted at the time, right? So they would buy me these books. Most of them were the Animorphs books. Do you remember Animorphs? Does that ring any bells?
Oh
Those
yeah,
those really
absolutely.
badass looking covers where it's like step by step of the kid morphing into that animal.
Yep. And they
Crazy
ended up being
stuff.
like really dark, actually. Like the whole series was actually like really kind of dark. It was all about like there's
Yeah.
like it was all about escaping fascism and stuff, and like it ended up being this really intense plot
Mm.
line, and like one guy got stuck in his form and people were dying and there was a war, and I'm like, oh.
Sounds
It was an
depressing.
intense series.
It sounds intense. But yeah, I would make my parents buy me all these books because I just like the covers. I never read them, Sarah. Okay, I never read them because when you're in school, this is the thing we talk about sometimes on this show. When you're in school and you're forced to read something, it's not as enjoyable. But when you go out on your own and you go to a place called a public library, or you go to a magical world called Barnes and Noble, or you go to a family, what do you call it? A mom and pop bookstore, a local bookstore, not so much one of the bigger brands. Got to support the little guys. And you go to these places, you're thinking to yourself, wow, there's some really interesting books in here. I think I may want to read this. Why? Because no one's forcing me to read it.
Yep, there's something about reading for pleasure. Like, I'm glad that I was forced to read the books that I was forced to read in high school and college. I'm grateful. I think it was necessary. I never would have read them on my own, and I actually think that it helped me expand my understanding of books. And now that I'm an adult and my brain is formed, I think it's a good thing. But as an adult, I'm also like, let's read all of the stuff that I loved and just thought was really cool because of the cover art as a kid. And so that's what I'm doing now.
Yeah, the old saying is never judge a book by its cover, but we do it anyway because if the cover doesn't sell me, I'm not going to read your stuff. I'm just sorry, but it's the truth. If I didn't see this, I would never have checked out Snow. But if I didn't see this, I wouldn't have read Captain Hawkland. Look at this for Captain Hawkland. This is an adventure series that's a new pulp series set in the vein of Doc Savage and Indiana Jones and the Phantom or the Rocketeer. So if that's if that's your thing, then you got to check out the Captain Hawkland series because look how sick this artwork is. Look how thick this is.
Oh my gosh, that is.
You got octopus. You got an ancient mummy trying to attack you. You got dinosaurs coming out of the woodwork. You got planes flying into the air. I mean, who doesn't want to read a good
it was a movie poster at first.
That's what I'm saying. No, it's the Captain Hawkland Adventure Series written by our good friend Charles F. Millhouse of Stormgate Press.
Nice. All right. Sweet. I'm picking up my own books on my TBR. I ruin everyone else's, but then everyone else gets in the comments and leaves me like answers. I put the questions at the end of my little slideshows on Instagram, and then I get answers. And in my head, I'm like, oh, great, this will be a good conversation. And then I start getting all these book recommendations. Now I'm adding them to my list, and I'm like, dang it. Everyone's hurting me back. It's mutual suffering, mutually assured destruction. Really?
Sure. Mutually assured destruction. It's called MAD, a perfect acronym if there ever was one. Kevin says Sarah missed out on those board games. Laugh out loud. Yeah, she did. She missed out on a lot of board games. She missed out on tons and tons and tons of games. And by the way, Jamie says I played the game of life. Yeah, she did. Of course she did. Why wouldn't you?
Right now, every day.
Why would you? Honestly, why would? And then Jamie says we have those around here. Scholastic Book Fair. Yeah, well, I'm glad that you do because Scholastic Book Fairs are they're so much fun as a kid. They're so much fun as a kid, honestly. And you remember these too, right? You remember because you mentioned it earlier. The Goosebumps series. Oh, I had my parents buy me a whole bunch of Goosebumps books. The only one I think I ever actually read and gave a darn about, because like I said, I just had my parents buy me the books because I thought the covers looked cool. I know I was that silly Willy Vanilli as a kid. Sarah,
we all were.
We all were. So the one that I actually read and enjoyed was The Girl Who Cried Monster. Now that is the one where the girl visits her local library and she finds out that the librarian is actually a monster.
All right.
But she finds out in the most unsuspecting way because she tries to sneak into the library in the middle of the night because she really likes to read. She just wants to have her own time with no people around. She wants that quiet time, I guess. And she hears this voice in the distance, and she goes up to she gets closer and closer to the what do you call it, the main desk. And she sees the librarian standing there, and he's like looking at papers. He's filing away some paperwork, or whatever. Just whatever he does. And then all of a sudden, he morphs his face into this hideous creature, and he's eating bugs and scorpions for dinner. And I'm like, this is so creepy, but yet I can't not look away.
I remember that. You triggered like a memory in my brain. I feel like
do you remember this?
That.
Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Does anyone else remember this episode? It's called The Girl Who Cried Monster. That's the name of it on social media. Look it up on Amazon or something. It might be there. Yeah,
I watched the TV series and read the book. So, but
there was that
so long
one.
ago that, it's gone now.
Well, there was another episode I thought was good because it wasn't as scary as some of the other ones from the Goosebumps series. It was called Phantom of the Auditorium, which was a riff on Phantom of the Opera. So, which I thought was clever. I thought it was clever.
I probably because I watched like all of the Goosebumps series, the show, and I read the books and
the
Are
show,
You Afraid of the
yeah.
Dark, and like I've rewatched Are You Afraid of the Dark more recently, but like every now and then, like someone will mention an episode that I remember, and it's like it jogs this very vague specter of a memory free.
Jeez,
so I'm pretty confident I watched it. I by appointment TV, it was the better era, I think, than streaming.
Well, yeah. When we had the Fox and Nickelodeon and Cartoon Network, Kids WB,
yes,
Fox Kids, because Fox Kids had Spider-Man, X-Men, Batman.
Oh yeah.
Power
Mummies
Rangers.
Alive, that's right. Yep.
Yeah, Mummies. Well, that's a deep cut, right? I was gonna say, Sarah, honey, the Mummies Alive is a deep cut for me, honey. That's a deep one. Very deep cut. Biker Mice from Mars, Street Sharks, Ninja Turtles. But the one I always go back to when it comes to early Saturday morning programming as a kid was Power Rangers. I watched that so hard, and I loved it so much. And it's funny, oddly enough, 20 plus years later, when I started going to conventions, I met a lot of the Ranger actors, and I felt my inner 6-year-old was bursting at the seams. I'm like, dude, I'm hanging out with Tommy. I'm hanging out with Kimberly. I'm hanging out with Zach and Billy and Aisha and Rocky and Adam and Catherine, and which is so beautiful to say. I don't care what anybody says. And, Nakia Baris, who played Tanya, I was hanging out with Andros and, all these different actors. And I'm just like, and here's another fun fact for you. So recently there was a convention that was in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, here on the East Coast. It's called Go-Go Ranger Station. And it's a Power Rangers themed convention on the East Coast, because the one that they had that's the biggest one is Power Morphicon in Pasadena, California. So because I can't travel that far and I'm not that rich, they have one in Philadelphia, which is only 2 hours away from me, conveniently enough. And I went to the show, and I was volunteering this year in 2026 because I was friends with the owner. And she says, "Hey, do you want to moderate the Lightspeed Rescue panel during the weekend?"
Cool.
And I said, considering the fact that it's in my top 3 seasons of the whole series, and I grew up watching that mother effer, damn right I want to be a moderator. Are you kidding me? So I said yes, and then I ended up wearing a replica of the Lightspeed Rescue jacket that they wore on the show during the panel while I was hosting it. And I'm sitting next to Carter Grayson, Kelsey Winslow, and Keith Rollins, which are the character names, not the actor's name, but those 3 characters played by Sean C.W. Johnson, Sasha Craig, Kevin Robinson. They're all there, and I'm just like, bro, I'm sitting next to 3 legends of my childhood, and I'm moderating a panel. If you told me I'd be doing this 20 years ago, I would have said you were nuts, right? But the stars aligned. It's good to be friends with friends in high places, and not only that, timing is everything in the business. So when you're friends with the right people at the right place at the right time, good things are going to happen, partner. So I've moderated panels before, but moderating a Power Rangers panel for someone who grew up on that property and still holds a special place in Die Hot for that property, it's like, bro, I'm living the American dream right now. So there's footage, and by the way, this is the first panel that I was ever on that actually got taped. It was taped. Ooh. So it's on our YouTube channel. It's underneath the Power Ranger Nerds playlist, because I have a separate playlist for Power Rangers content because I'm a diehard fan. So check out that panel. It was a lot of fun. The actors were super, super wonderful. Sean C.W. Johnson and I bumped into each other a few hours later after the panel and dinner. They had a VIP event where they had like a dinner thing with the Rangers and stuff like that, with all the actors who were there that weekend. So while it was over, because I was helping with the teardown, I was helping put away stuff from the set, I was walking towards the elevator to go back up to my hotel room, and I'm walking towards the elevator, and someone from behind me says, "Oh, hey, man, we bumped into each other again. I thought we were done for the night. What are you doing?" I'm like, "Yeah, oh, Sean." I'm like, "Hey, what's going on, man? Yeah, I'm just on my way to my room. Are you you going up?" And he's like, yeah. I'll go in the elevator with you. I'm like, "Okay." So I'm sharing an elevator with the Red Lightspeed Rescue. I'm like, can this weekend get any sicker? Like, I mean, it just...
Yeah, it's like your childhood reeling. Like, that's what it's like.
It's my baby.
Imagine going back to like tell kid you something, and like that's the thing you would tell them. Like, you try to imagine. It's the inner child thing.
I was so overjoyed with that. I'm like, see, this is in the words of the movie. I don't know if you've seen this movie or not. Did you ever see The Maltese Falcon?
No, I've not.
with Humphrey Bogart. Did you ever see that? Okay. Well, the iconic line that comes from that movie, which by the way, you need to add this to your watch list. Okay.
I know.
In The Maltese Falcon, he says, "What is it? It's the stuff that dreams are made of." Well, going to that convention and hanging out with all my Power Ranger friends and Power Ranger actors, that's the stuff that dreams are made of, my friends. So
Hillary Duff said that too.
Oh, really? Well, it's funny because did you know? Here's a fun fact.
Yeah.
Well, here's a fun fact for the anti-quote audience as well as you, Sarah. Did you know that Hillary Duff and I were born on the exact same day, the exact same year?
Whoa, that's crazy. How cool.
We were born in September of 1987. All right. So the fact that she and I share a birthday, I thought to myself a couple years ago, I thought, oh yeah, this is my destiny. We're going to get married, have a nice life,
Is it working out really well?
She'll take me to all her movie premieres, maybe some concerts, and we'll hang out, have a good time. And unfortunately, she ended up marrying a hockey player at one point, had a kid with him, which is, hey, they got married, they had a kid, it's fine. And I'm happy for her in a sense. But then again, it's like, hey, man, what about me?
Sad for you. Happy for her.
Well, here's the thing. They were married for a while, didn't quite work out. That relationship came to a close, and then I think she started seeing somebody else sometime later. I think they ended up together somewhere or another. And now she's doing okay.
So I'm yet.
No. We're 38 going on 39. The stars aren't aligned yet, honey. But you know what? Hopefully one day they will. Because at one point, when I was sitting in the theater with my dad a long time ago when we saw that movie, like I spoke about earlier, Mask of Zorro, I thought I was going to end up marrying Catherine Zeta-Jones. But unfortunately, Michael Douglas got to Catherine before I did. So.
Okay. It's just bad timing.
Yeah, I got to admit defeat. As a man, I got to admit defeat on that one.
They've been together for a long time, so.
Yeah,
that's probably tied up. That's probably a forever situation.
Yeah. But Catherine, you're always going to be Elena from Mask of Zorro for me. So I'll gonna hold on to that. Jamie says my brother and I watched Rangers at the time. Yep, High Five was the name of one of the episodes of Power Rangers. That's what you're referring to there, Jamie. Thank you. One of the comments has a question here, so I'm gonna pronounce their name. I'm probably gonna butcher this. But I'm just. I'll just say G. G says, would it be wrong for me to have a finished story about a classic murder mystery, then tweak it to involve AI as a possible suspect to draw in a wider audience like techies, for instance?
Ooh, so adding AI as an element to
as a potential
AI
suspect,
something. Honestly, I think that'd be kind of cool. I think that's interesting. I read a sci-fi indie that was published back in May. Called The Things We Would Bear, and she involved the whole conceptual AI and facial recognition as part of her whole process, and it ended up that the AI was part of the conspiracy because it was able to generate its thoughts, and it was able to formulate a language model that ended up being really damaging, and it was actually a really cool book. So I think that inclusion in science fiction as well as thriller is starting to happen in the book space, and I think that's definitely, I don't think that'd be wrong at all. I think that'd be super interesting, depending on how you want to play it.
Yeah, no, it's an interesting plot thread for sure. Just as interesting as this show is, aka Sarah Smith analyzes every genre there is to man. Don't forget to like. It's kind of great because you've been doing it for so long. Don't forget to like and share if you have any questions. Sarah, let us know in the chat. Good Lord, I feel like this is a Sarah Smith show and I'm just living in it. But it's fine. It's fine. I can pass the torch on to Sarah. She doesn't mind.
I think it's available.
She could pick up the slack while I'm cryogenically frozen for 30 years.
You and Walt both.
I know, right? No, I'm just kidding. I don't know if I survived that. What have been some special memories for you from going to either book signings or book themed conventions? Any memories there?
Man, I personally bookstagram and book talk and booktube and all that stuff. I haven't even really done a year yet. I kind of just popped in October, and I think the space has given me so much that I have so much to be grateful for that I don't know if I could pick a cool moment. I got roped into a Pacific Northwest creators group a couple months into doing it, and then I ended up meeting just some amazing people. I got to go to Emerald City Comic Con with a bunch of book friends. We just hung out. We went to Matt Dinniman's panel, got to see him and chat and hang out after the panel, and I went to his book signing at Third Place Books for the most recent one, Parade of Horribles, that came out, and that was so cool because one of my buddies is really good friends with him, and so we got to like actually hang out and chat, and that was super sick. But like I've had so many different opportunities that I never would have had before. I've started reading like advanced copies of books I really wanted. I got asked if I wanted a copy of this like special omnibus that's coming out for an author that I love, and I'm like, oh my god, I just talked about them, perfect. And like I just feel like I don't think there's one thing I could point to. I'm excited. I've been excited about all of them. Like they've all been so incredible. Like I just feel like I've had so many cool, crazy opportunities. Lyndon A. Lewis is an author that I love, and they are putting out this a new fantasy standalone, and I was in their comments on like they did like a little trailer for their book, and like I was in their comments just with the Jim Halpert meme from The Office staring through the blinds and smiling, and they messaged me and they're like, do you want an arc? I'm like, when Lyndon Lewis, the author of the book, is like, do you want an arc? Yeah. Yes. Who says no? So it's just been cool all around. I don't know if I could pick like one experience, honestly. It's just, there've been so many awesome ones. That's why I tell people, if you want to talk passionately about something you love on the internet, just do it. Just make the video. Who cares about it? Ignore the comments. Mean comments or notifications to be cleared. Make the video. You never know where it's going to take you. And like, yeah, it's taken me pretty far. And I don't think I could pick just one thing.
Yes! That's awesome!
Oh gosh, no, really.
Do it.
I hope to go to book themed conventions more often, because there's a few of them here in my neck of the woods on the East Coast, but I can go.
Get all of them.
Well, here's the thing. You're right. There's Killer Nashville, which my friend T.G. Brown, I think another writer I know of, Josh Jensen, they got nominated for books this year. Congratulations to both those guys. There's Killer Nashville. There's the one we have in my neck of the woods here in Maryland specifically is called Fright Reads Book Festival, where it's horror themed, but they invite authors of all genres to table at the event, even though it's a horror themed book festival / convention, because they have actors from horror properties tabling there and signing autographs, taking pictures. They have live bands that play horror-themed music, costume parties, whatever it is. Like I said before, not the biggest horror fan, but I like going to the book festival because I like seeing other people's work, even if it's not my particular cup of tea. Yes. I still want to see how they're doing. I want to see how they're doing in life. And also, it's also a good networking opportunity for the show. So I go with dozens of business cards, handing them out, making the elevator pitch. As we all know, you got to make an elevator pitch and say, why are you here? Why should I consider you? Why should I be on that show? Or I can walk up to somebody and say, hey, this one right here, what exactly is this book about? Can you give me a little bit of a description? And they will go immediately into elevator. It's like, oh, well, I'm so glad you asked. Well, this book is about a group of girls who get locked away in a school or a mental institution, and they got to claw their way out of it. And then one of them finds out that they're a vampire. One of them finds out that they're a cannibal or whatever. And I'm just like, I'm thinking to myself, okay, not Ryan's cup of tea, but I like your passion. I appreciate your elevator pitch. Excuse me. Would you like to be on this show? Well, what's the show? It's called And I Quote. What is it? Well, I interview creators such as yourself, and we have a friendly neighborhood conversation like two friends hanging out at a coffee shop, right, Sarah? I ask you a series of questions about your writing, maybe some of your books or whatever, and we just basically take questions from the virtual audience, because this is a live show, just to be clear. And they say, where do I sign? One of the challenging things about life and being a writer or whoever else is marketing. Marketing yourself and getting your name out there to the general public is a very difficult thing to do. So if I can offer somebody the opportunity to come on the set, virtually, of course, in the comfort of their own home or studio, wherever, and say, hey, this is who I am. This is what I do. If you are interested in this, here's my card. Here's my information. Check us out. I really appreciate a review, because reviews matter. Leave us a review on Goodreads. Leave us a review on Amazon. Leave us a review on so-and-so and blah, 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 blah. And that's my way of giving back, because I like going to these events. I like hanging out with people. I like getting to know people a little bit better. And then I like getting them on the show, because then they come back to me saying, and by the way, this isn't me tooting my own horn. This is just some of the feedback that I have received over the years, Sarah, as a podcaster. People have said to me, this was the best podcast I've ever been on. This is the most professional podcast I've been on in quite some time. I appreciate your passion. Thank you for having me. I really appreciate you sharing my stuff out, getting the word out, whatever. And I'm like, dude,
it helps.
It's like, dude, indie supports indie. That's how I am. Indie supports indie. I'm an indie writer like yourself. I want to give back. And then Jamie says, Sarah, you need to come up to Alberta.
You guys, it's not that far.
In Canada. Now, Jamie, if there's a book festival that's one I should go to, let us know what it is, because I'm curious what's in Alberta, Canada. The only
I
place
know.
it was Toronto.
Worldcon's
I've
going
been
to
to
be.
Toronto.
I think Worldcon is in.
Yeah,
Excuse me.
Worldcon,
Oh,
where is it?
Vancouver next year.
Oh,
It's
is
in
it?
LA this year. So I'm going. I'm going to Worldcon this year, which is like the big Hugo and Nebula Awards that happens
Oh, you
there and
are?
stuff. So I'm going to be in that one in LA, and that's going to be
Hmm.
fun. It's in LA. It's in Anaheim. And then I have tickets to Dragonsteel Nexus in Utah. I'm so
Do
excited.
you?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. That's gonna be fun.
Man, look at you. You're going to rack up the freaking flyer miles here, girl.
Oh man, like luckily they're not that far from me. That's they're both like 2-hour flights away, which is like
Oh,
kinda
wow.
nice.
It's kind of nice. We go 5 million miles an hour. We get there in less than 2 hours.
Oh yeah, it's honestly I could go to more on the East Coast, but like, gosh, that's a budget.
It is, but we would still love to have you here. You're always welcome in the East Coast, and you can always hang out with me in Maryland. You know,
There's a few that I have to go. There's a few most of my book friends are out on the East Coast, so I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
well, we'll figure out like a convention that we all want to go
You
to,
should.
and I'm like, we'll go to it. So
you should.
right now, it's Emerald City, Worldcon, and Dragonsteel for me, and I'm like, I think I'm of an age where 3 is a good number. That feels good. I'll recover for a few months in between.
Well, like I said, hope to see you on the East Coast at one point or another. It would be nice to hang out with you, maybe Maya, Britt, some of the others we've mentioned. ZB Steele, I hear, is a cool cat. You know, there's so many. Yeah, and that's another thing. And you mentioned this word earlier. I want to chime in on this, if you will. Gratitude, right? Gratitude's a big thing. And for me, first of all, I'm grateful for all the shows we've done this week, and thank everybody who's participated in that. That's number one. Number two, I'm grateful for Bobby Nash because he and I are such good friends, and he's been a bit of a mentor to me over the years because I just started writing within the last 2 years, and he's kind of helped me, you know, with some stuff here and there. You know, he's done some beta reading for it, whatever. And then I gotta say this, and I've said this before. I've said this in private, and I've said it in other message boards. I'm grateful for Maya because Maya invited me to be a beta reader for her, and I thought, why me? What makes me so special? All this, I don't get it. She's like, well, you know, you follow me on Instagram, you're very supportive, blah, 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 blah. I want you to read this. I really want you to hear your opinion, honestly. It's like, you sure? She's like, yeah. Just give it a shot. Just give it a shot. Tell me what you think. I read her book in less than a week. That's how good it was. As soon as I got a couple chapters in, I was like, okay, is Maya writing directly to me? Because this character, the MC, if you will, the MC. And I relate to the MC on so many levels about grief and loss. I mean, we've all lost somebody, right? I've lost both my parents are gone. I'm not even 40, all right, which sucks beyond measure. It sucks beyond measure, all right. But the main character has dealt with grief in a somewhat similar fashion. But I'm thinking to myself, I really relate to this guy. I feel his pain. I get it. So
yeah.
When I read that, and then the story continues, and he goes through all these different kind of obstacles to get to the point where he needs to go. I'm thinking, I feel like Maya wrote this specifically for me, and I don't know why, but I just feel like she wrote it directly to. It's almost like she knew what kind of stuff I've been through in my life, and this is my way of like processing it and getting through, or whatever. Just however you want to phrase that, Sarah. But it's just really good storytelling. It's really good. And here's the other thing too. When I finished the book, or the beta copy, with all due respect. When I finished it, I emailed her this really elongated email of my thoughts on the pacing, the characterizations, the dialogue, the locations, the set, whatever, just the little deets, right? The little deets. Yeah. And as soon as I sent that email, I went on a website that no one should ever go on this website, because if you do, your money's going to be gone. tpublic.com. tpublic.com has a crap ton of pop culture relevant t-shirts, Sarah. They have so many t-shirts for so many different properties. Some of them books, right? Some of them books. Some of them movies. Lots of TV series. I'm sure you've seen this in your time on Google Images. So the shirt that I'm wearing right now is of a samurai, because The Way of the Warden is a samurai type story that Maya wrote. And this, by the way, the writing on this shirt, which I know you can't see all of it, and I apologize for that. It says, "Everyone but me is my teacher."
Ooh,
and it's
I like that.
And it's stoicism. It's stoicism.
That's good.
And it's got a badass looking samurai on. I'm like, yes, I want this.
Heck yeah! I've got my Bridge Burner shirt from Beer is the Mind Killer on, and that's from Malazan.
And Sarah has that on, and she enjoys that property, which is nothing wrong with that, by the way. So
I love Malazan.
The story was so good, it made me go on TeePublic and buy 2 shirts that I probably shouldn't have done, but I bought them anyway because they were on sale. And anytime TeePublic has that $16 T-shirt sale, Sarah, you know you're going to spend it.
You have to go. You have to buy. Yeah, no, I get it. I just got a couple shirts from
for
awesome. Adaprint. Like I went through adaprint.com. They just came in today. I've got like the
did you?
Unicorn and a Redwall shirt from the Redwall book. Yeah, I was so excited. They came in, so I cut them up because I cut up all my T-shirts. I don't like the collars.
You don't like? Okay, because I was going to ask you that. Why do you make the T-shirts the way that you do? Kind of reminds me of a phase in the '90s when women were like that, or it reminds me of professional wrestlers being like, "Oh, I don't like the sleeves, brother. I'm going to cut them off," or whatever.
Very '80s. Yep. So I've been doing it since high school. Like I don't like the sensation of like the collar.
I get that. You don't like it at all?
I really don't like it. It bothers me so much. I can't have like a tight collar on a shirt. And so I just started hacking them up like they did in the 80s. And then now I dress like I'm a ski villain in a 80s movie. So
I'm a ski villain. What the heck is it? Never mind. I'm learning so many new things here on this show. If anyone's wondering, it is And I Quote on And I Quote Studios. Don't forget to like and share if you have any questions for Sarah or my sanity. Let us know in the comments. And if you want to add more stuff to our TBR list, if you want to add more to our TBR list between Sarah and I, because Sarah and I are sharing sharing some different titles that we want to throw at one another, that's fine too, because TBRs always are going to be growing around here. Now, if you had true friends, what's a few books between friends, right?
Exactly.
I don't think there's an issue with that. Here's one a bit out of left field for you. If you had to pick 3 books that every reader should have on their bookshelves, what 3 books would they be?
Ooh, that's a tough one.
That everyone should have on their bookshelf. Every single human being.
Every single human being. I think
3
Iliad and the Odyssey.
Okay.
I think that is a really important book, because that's like one of the foundation stories that like so much of our modern stories are based on the Iliad and the Odyssey. I think Circe by Madeline Miller is incredible. I think that should be on absolutely everybody's shelves. And then honestly, I think this is going to be kind of not like a classic that everyone knows, but this is one of my favorites. You're not going to believe that it's by this guy. It's called Till We Have Faces by C.S. Lewis, and everyone knows him for Narnia, but he did other books too. And I think Till We Have Faces is one of those books that like it really makes you confront the concept of like your sense of identity and what it means to have faith in anything, and like what it means to be yourself, and what it means to like trust your own judgment. And like it's such a deep and interesting book that I don't think a lot of people have read, and I think that should be something everyone reads. So that's just Iliad and the Odyssey, which I combine into one book because I'm a cheater, and that's what I do. Circe, because it's brilliant, and Madeline Miller is like an incredible writer, and it's such like a beautiful feminist take on Circe and like what it like womanhood and like the evolution of womanhood. And then Till We Have Faces, which is like all about introspection and self-reflection and like and faith in self and faith in the universe. It's very cool. It's a beautiful book. Those are my
It's funny you mentioned Till We Have Faces was by C.S. Lewis, because I have all my TBR. They're over here on this part of the set on my shelf. I have Mere Christianity, The Problem of Pain, and The Screw Tape Letters by C.S. Lewis
good.
On my shelf. I haven't read them yet, but they're on the list. And now I gotta add this one that you just named to the list, because I respect C.S. Lewis.
Oh, yeah.
I've watched some mini documentaries and just behind the scenes stuff about his life and how dealing with his wife's death and everything else he went through, and writing Narnia the way that he did. Which, by the way, I've seen the film adaptations, and I remember reading Lion, Witch, and Wardrobe when I was a kid, but I never read any of the other 6 books. But the good news
is, series is so good.
Here's the thing. Here's something to help you out here, Sarah. So I went on a little magical place. It's called Amazon. Likes to take all our money, and I bought the hardcover like anniversary edition of the complete series of the Chronicles of Narnia.
Nice. Read it. It's good.
That has a really good dust jacket, and it also has sprayed edges on the pages.
Ooh, we love a sprayed edge.
So if you like that stuff, which I know that you do, I'm going to read the Chronicles of Narnia because I have it right over here next to the other C.S. Lewis books. Okay? So when I read all that stuff, I'm going to put it in my reviews on Goodreads. I'm going to review every single one. Because I always every book that I read, I always post a review about it. As soon as I'm done reading that particular book, I drop the book, pick up my phone, get on the Goodreads app, which you can download on your phone for free, and I go to find the book in the title section. Then as soon as I find it, I'm like, I read this book, I give it X amount of stars, and do you want to write a review? Duh, yes. and I write a paragraph review of every single book. But every single book I review is non-spoiler. I don't give away any spoilers. In any of my reviews, I always say it's an edge-of-your-seat thriller. You'll be reading it. You'll get it. It's a really quick read, or it's a great adventure. It's spine-tingling. It's thrilling. Whatever. Like I use all the trademark, words to describe a story. Like every time I talk about Bobby Nash's Snow series, I say it's edge-of-your-seat action. It's a thrilling spectacle. I just dive into it.
Good search words. Yeah,
I capture all the good
SEO optimization. Yeah.
Yeah. Or to call keywords, right? Keywords, folks. Keywords. Yeah. So I put all those in my reviews because I want people to read that particular story. Whoever it is, by the way, whoever it is. I'm just, but yeah, the C.S. Lewis collection over here is, where is it? Second shelf. It's on my second shelf.
And I've got Out of the Silent Planet and
Do you?
Paralandra is his. They're short. They're considered novellas, but they're so dense that like they're like 158 pages, but they're so dense that I'm like, this is kind of basically just a very small book. And those are beautiful. Those are very like speculative about like the spirit of the universe, and those are very intense. And I really like it. People know him for Narnia, but he actually is like incredibly empathetic and emotional, and like he's very thoughtful as a writer, and like
too.
Oh yeah, and he's very deeply introspective. And people think like, oh yeah, he writes like as a Christian writer, and I'm like, no, he writes like as a writer who understands the human element of faith, not like capital F, but like having faith in things. And like it's very interesting how he writes, and I think he's super good at it. And I think his other stuff is better than Narnia. Frankly, Narnia was just easy for kids to read.
Wow, hot take here on this show, which by the way, and I quote is known for having hot takes. So,
I've got plenty. Don't worry.
No, it's okay, Sarah. It's going to boost our ratings. Our pay-per-view buy rates are going to go way up. So don't worry. You'll get a check in the mail like everybody else.
Okay, I'll start the hate mail up. Let's go.
Just like everybody else has been on this show. Good Lord. Who is an author, living or dead, that you want to have a conversation with, and why?
Oh, living or dead that I'd want to have a conversation with.
And if you want to pick one of each, that's fine too.
Ooh. I think I would go with Anne McCaffrey, and she's passed on. She died. Oh man, no, there's two that I want to talk to, and they're both dead. Dang it. I'm torn between. So Anne McCaffrey is like, I think her Pern series is like 15 or 16 books, and I read all of them. And like her approach to this concept of like science fiction and dragons, and then like this is in a PG way, like human sexuality and human condition and gender identity, like all that stuff is just so fascinating to me that like I would love to pick her brain, because it didn't feel like she brought it with her from any kind of like academic setting. She's very matter of fact about it. She's like, yeah, people are just a lot more fluid and dynamic than you think. And like she leverages science fiction to talk about these really complex themes. And I would want to talk about like, how did this form in your head when you were like building this world? And then because I'm going to cheat, I'm going to say a second one. She's a thriller writer. Her name was Mo Hader, and she's the only thriller writer I have read that has ever made me gasp out loud because her twists were so good. And I have so many questions that I want to ask her about, because she never got to finish her series before she passed. I'm like, I want to know what your plan was for Jack Caffrey. I want to know what your plan was and what was going to happen. Was he ever going to find his brother? What was the plan? Tell me. Expose your secrets to me, Mo.
Interesting. Yeah. Well, in the words of our good friend Captain America, I'll add it to the list. As he says in that movie. By the way, Pink Cashmere is in the chat. She says hot takes and hot hosts. Oh, stop. I know who this is, by the way. I know exactly who this is. Pink Cashmere, stop it. All right, just stop it. I don't know about that. I don't know about that second part. But hot takes we provide for you on the show. I don't know about that second part though. But hey, yeah, we'll take it. Sorry.
Badge of honor.
Apparently, apparently, I got fans in the audience there. I didn't know that was humanly possible in this world.
Hey.
I feel like I don't have it here. I don't have it here on the set. But if I did, I would post the GIF of JT. Oh, stop it! Justin Timberlake from SNL. You remember that sketch? I don't know if you remember that or not, but it's still
a long time ago.
In a galaxy far, far away.
Yes.
Throwing that out there. Lord, what is happening? Yeah, no. The good picks, though. Good picks. And yeah, C.S. Lewis written so many things. I look forward to diving into that part of his life and finding out more. Prom of Pain, Mere Christianity, Screwtape Letters, all that. stuff. And Pink Cashmere says I'm your number one. Okay, well, thanks. Appreciate it. It's nice to be appreciated once in a while, Pink Cashmere. And I know who this is. So it's like, and by the way, where have you been, Pink Cashmere? You and I haven't talked in like forever. Where have you been? How are things in your neck of 100 Acre Wood? Just, sorry, throwing that out there. Oh, goodness gracious. Man, so many things. Where do we go from here? I don't know. So many stories. Oh, here's something now I remember. Okay, so when it comes to the word dragon, the first time I was ever introduced to the creature known as a dragon was in a very, very unknown, very deep cut of a early 90s, late 80s movie called Dragon World. Okay, that was the first time I ever seen or heard of the creature of dragons. So Dragon World is a coming-of-age movie about a young boy who was sent to live with his grandparents in the old country of Scotland. And he ends up finding a wishing well. And as a kid, he doesn't think much of it, right? He says, "I wish I had a friend." And the next day, a baby dragon comes out of nowhere and befriends the little guy.
I've never heard of this.
Well, I think, if I'm not mistaken, and by the way, executives in the chat, let me know about this. I think the movie is available for free on YouTube.
It sounds like the kind of movie that would be available for free on YouTube.
Yeah, you can find it at the bargain bin at your local Arrows or Walmart. Thanks, guys. But yeah, feel free to look it up. It's on YouTube, and if it's not on YouTube, you can definitely find it on some streaming service thingamabob. But
probably.
That was the first time I was introduced to dragons, and after that, I saw the movie Pete's Dragon.
Yep, Pete's Dragon.
From what's his name? Disney. So Disney came out with that, right? Pete's Dragon.
Yep.
And then what was the next movie I saw the dragons featuring? I'm trying to think.
It was Sword in the Stone for me was the next one.
Well, I didn't see Sword in the Stone until about a year ago, and I didn't really like it.
It wasn't anyone's favorite. I loved it. I liked the story of King Arthur, but the Sword in the Stone movie for me, in the words of my good friend Randy Jackson, it's a no for me, dog. Honestly, the Black Cauldron was better.
I haven't seen that yet. I haven't seen the Black Cauldron.
Way better.
I haven't seen. Now listen, I have not seen. Two movies are going to shock you. I've never seen Black Cauldron, nor have I seen Dark Crystal.
Dark Crystal is like 80% of my personality. I actually thought about doing an entire TikTok series where I explain the history of the Dark Crystal. Yeah, I'm a huge and the Labyrinth. Those are like two of my foundational core movies.
I've seen Labyrinth. I can comment on that. I've seen it.
Okay, fantastic.
Okay, and Jennifer Connelly's in it, so that helps. Plus, I've had a crush on Jennifer Connelly since The Rocketeer. I've had a crush on Jennifer Connelly since The Rocketeer days. Did you see her in The Rocketeer?
Oh, she's always been beautiful, and you can. But here's the thing.
Yeah, yes, Jennifer, if you're watching, yes. But in The Rocketeer, to me, that was prime Jennifer Connelly. Okay, that was prime.
Jennifer Connelly's The Rocketeer.
So prime. And it's funny because years ago I didn't really give much rewatch to The Rocketeer, but now that I'm a bit older, a bit wiser, and I got gray hairs to prove it. Sorry, on the back of my head, I've come to really appreciate The Rocketeer as a movie. I loved it when I was a kid, and then I didn't really like it in the middle part of my adulthood. Now when I'm getting a bit older and a bit wiser, I'm getting better at this. The Rocketeer is actually a good film. And not only that, you have a former James Bond playing the villain in that movie, played by Timothy Dalton, and that's just genius.
Okay. All right. Okay. I'll have to it's been like very, very many years. So I think it's due for a rewatch for me. I've been doing more like classic shows and movies lately. I don't know what that is. I'm just like not incensed by anything new.
I don't know. Maybe we put the 90s formula in your juice this morning. I don't know. Just,
Yeah, maybe. I repurchased a bunch of like older shows after like the physical media. I'm big on physical media. So like owning stuff as much as I can. Mm-hmm. So I bought a bunch recently and I'm like, maybe I got to watch them. Maybe it's my calling.
Yeah. Which I own a bunch of DVDs, Blu-rays, I still have some VHS tapes. Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow.
VHS. Summer. Yep. I have a VCR that works. Mm-hmm.
Nice. Yep. All right. Some things were meant to be watched that way. That's the thing that I try to explain to people. There are some things that I don't want on Blu-ray because they're meant to be watched a certain way. Like the blacks are supposed to fall a certain way. The purples are supposed to hit a certain way. The lighting is meant for a certain, it's like watching it on a CRT TV. It changes everything. I have very weird passions.
Yeah, and I think we got to keep bringing Sarah back for this. Well, here's another one for you. You mentioned Dark Crystal. So, in the pantheon of this, in the history of this broadcast, known as And I Quote, we've had the honor of sitting down and talking with Jim Henson's cartoonist, Guy Gilchrist. Cool. Guy Gilchrist has been on this show, and It's on our Anti Quote playlist. You can go back and watch. I'll send you the link too in the DMs of Instagram so you can have it and watch it too. Because Guy Gilchrist is an amazing man. So Guy Gilchrist shared with us stories about working closely with Jim Henson and what it was like working in the Muppet Studios and seeing all these great puppeteers do their thing and put together these magical creatures and characters and all that, all that other kind of stuff. And he was the cartoonist, right? So he did all these wonderful drawings and renderings and art. He drew all these different characters from Fraggle Rock, from the Muppet Show to Disney characters to classic Disney characters, like all this other stuff. And then he has a replica of Ralph the dog from the Muppets. He has a replica of Kermit the Frog, the puppets. He has those puppets in his studio. And even though it's a minor spoiler for that interview you're about to watch, he actually interacted with me as Kermit for the last few moments of that interview. And as soon as he did that, my inner 5-year-old was going ape, excuse me for saying this, going ape shit. Because I love Muppets.
Awesome.
I love Muppets. I always have. I always will because I grew up watching Muppet Babies.
Yeah. Oh my! I still sing that theme song randomly.
Do you?
Yeah.
Okay. So it's okay. I don't know how this. Okay. You know what? Let's first of all let me take a pause here on the show for a moment. Secondly, if the stars align and Sarah and I ever meet up, we're definitely going to be doing a duet of Muppet Babies at karaoke. That's one.
Yeah, that's important.
And then 2, we're just going to hang out and talk ourselves to death. So, it's going to be the best conversation. I think Sarah and I are going to have so many conversations about her passion for the horror genre and my passion for all 30 other genres that have nothing to do with horror.
Yeah, you'll carry the rest of them.
Yeah, and then Sarah and I will just do a karaoke night with the rest of our friends in the Pacific Northwest or in the middle somewhere, or maybe we'll gather a group of people together and meet them up on the East Coast in my neck of the woods somewhere. We'll kind of have to meet somewhere in the middle. Yeah, or compromise. Relationships and friendships are about compromise sometimes, folks. So, no, that's funny that you still sing Muppet. That's hilarious. But Guy Gilchrist was great. So check out the interview. It was a lot of fun. He's a wonderful man. And he does conventions all over the East and West Coast. So you're bound to run into Guy Gilchrist at some point or another.
Okay, dang. I got to keep an eye out for him because he's like, I will talk to him until the cows come home about Dark Crystal. So,
yeah, he probably knows some things about that, as well as Fraggle Rock. So my brothers watched Fraggle Rock because that was just a little bit before my time.
Yeah, my older sister was a big Fraggle Rock person. She's 4
Was she?
years older than me. So
she's 4 years older than you. Okay.
Yeah.
So you said you're the middle child.
Yes, I'm the middle. I have a running game where a couple of my friends don't know exactly how old I am, and I intend to maintain that.
I think off camera.
Fun being nebulous.
Well, I think off camera, I can guess what your age is, but we'll talk more about that off camera. But still, not that it's a bad thing. Like I said, age is just a number. I'm not judging you, and I'm not judging your family either. It's cool. So I have two older brothers. It's okay. I have 2 older brothers, and I'm the youngest in my clan. So.
Okay.
I'm the one who got away with everything. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm also the one who was watching R-rated movies when he shouldn't have been. So
that was me. My little sister was very keep to herself. I was the rebellious. I was always out doing things I really shouldn't have been doing. I was the righteous middle child.
I wasn't, as the youngest in my family, say I wasn't rebellious. I just did my own thing, and my parents didn't really care. Because they were so concerned about my older brothers. So, because like I said, I have 2 older brothers. I have the middle one is Kevin. The oldest one is Greg. What's up, guys? Love you guys. So, yeah, I just got away with some stuff, and my parents didn't really think much of it. I was watching R-rated movies when I was 8 or 9 years old. I was watching movies like True Lies. Some of the Arnold movies that were rated R were violent. I was also probably watching. I can't believe it. Did you ever see a little indie film called Wild Things?
Oh yeah,
Denise. Yep. Okay, all right. So not to go deep into this rabbit hole because you don't want to know what happens in that movie, guys. You do not want to know what happens
in that movie.
A lot happens. Just saying. But I was probably watching that and a few other movies that were similar to that genre that I should not have been watching, but my parents didn't give a crap. So anyway,
mine were more like whatever. You'll be fine. It's TV.
Yeah, it's not going to scare. It's not going to scare you for life. Pink Cashmere says middle children are the brightest.
I agree. Personally, I'm also the most irritatingly analytical in my family, so that tracks.
I mean, I can't speak for my brothers, but me being autistic, I have a way of being very analytical. So
a very direct way of looking at the world. Yes. Yeah.
That's, autism being my superpower, which, by the way, # those are the facts of this case, and they are undisputed. I'm not ashamed of being autistic. It's a gift. No, it's a gift. It's a gift because autism allows me to remember all the movie quotes so well. And I can bring up fun facts about movies that most people can't. I can basically bring fun facts about movies out of my backside. So if you ask me a question about a movie, Sarah, I can almost guarantee you that I will know a little something about that movie, depending on what it is, of course. Because I don't know everything about everything. I'm not that smart. But I just like to say I'm kind of a big deal. So, I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
Oh, I mean, I think I talk about doing a million things. I think it's the unfettered ADHD. It is in a way when you have to learn to adapt to the world, you have good mechanisms for coping. Like when you do finally get like medicated and treated properly, you also have the mechanisms, and so it just becomes a superpower.
And Kashmir, I see your comment, and I don't know if I agree with that. I'm not going to bring it up on screen. It's too sensitive, but I appreciate you sharing that with us all the same. Anyway, she's just being silly. Anywho, good Lord, I'm losing my marbles here if I haven't already. So one of these days, we're going to get Sarah on some of our movie watch-alongs so she's able to join us and hang out and talk movies with us, because I feel like you would know a thing or two about these things. So we'll have to invite her. We'll have to invite you back for that. Obviously, you're going to be on Writer Showcase. That's got to happen. That just has to happen. So
that'll be that'll be fun.
And a few other opportunities may or may not come her way, folks. So you never know what's going to happen. You know, every day is an adventure in this world. I got to be honest with you.
It really is. Know everybody.
yeah. You know, I mean, you're venturing into writing here and there. You know, I became a published writer last summer, which was a lot of fun, and I'm hoping to get more stuff published as we go along here. So, granted, I'm writing short stories because I want to stay in the kiddie pool for a while.
Short stories are awesome. Yeah, short stories are important.
I'm going to stay in the kiddie pool for a while before I start writing full-length novellas, because that's a whole other animal.
Yes, short stories to a novella. I just finished writing 6 books worth of spines for a series I'm probably going to wind up working on, and I already kind of started a little bit. Yeah, I have 2 works in progress that I'm still working on. One of them is like another dark. I like dark fantasy and like horror fantasy. So one of them is like a darker horror fantasy that's like all based on like Irish Catholicism and things like that. It's gonna be really cool. It's like a Dresden Files case, like Monster of the Week series, which I'm really excited about. Then the other one is like I could do an epic fantasy. So I just finished writing the spine of book 6, my outline for that one. So that'll be fun. I don't know where that's gonna go. We'll see.
Possibilities are endless.
I know.
You know, I mean, I got plans for different short stories and different genres because, like I said, I want to dip my toes into different genres, but at the same time, I want to remain comfortable with what I'm doing. So that's why I'm going to stick with short stories for a good while. And then I'll venture into novellas, because eventually I do want to write a full-length novella that's like a treasure hunter type story, or I don't know. Like I said, I grew up on the Indiana Joneses, the Tomb Raiders, the Mask of Zorro, so I got all this adventure stuff in my head, of similar beats of action movies or adventure type films, or just just stories in general that I want to put into effect. But that comes with lots and lots of practice, honing your craft, learning as much as you can, soaking it up like a sponge. Hence the reason I'm in the men's adventure fiction Discord with a lot of great, wonderful men and women who are great writers I'm learning from each other as we go. I'm in the
important.
Yeah. I'm in the Hive tribe with a whole bunch of other people who are great. They're wonderful. I became a beta reader for the first time this year because of Maya's invitation. So thank you again, Maya. I've never been a beta reader, so that was, in the words of my good friend Marty, it's been educational. So,
You learn a lot. And you learn like a fire hose when you start writing, and you're like, I finished my manuscript, and you think like, I've done it. I wrote a book. And then someone's like, nope. And you're like, oh God, there's so much to learn.
Yeah. But like everything in life, it's a journey, folks. It's about the journey, not the destination. So
exactly.
Didn't some wise person say that? I don't even know who said it originally, but if we ever find out who coined that phrase, can we slap it on a t-shirt and send it to our house? Because I would really like to wear that, honestly. I mean, I'm adding more and more shirts to my wardrobe because of tpublic.com. hashtag not a sponsor of this show. But if they want to be, just give me a call. Call me maybe. No, I don't know. Maybe they can be. I don't know if they're going to be one or not. I have no flipping clue. What I do know is that this has been a very entertaining and educational episode of And I Quote. Sarah, thank you so much for spending some of your time with us and injecting us with a dose of insanity and analysis and dissertation, because you're very, very smart and you're wise beyond your years. For sure. And then Pink Cashmere goes on to say, Sarah is such a great guest. Lots of fun.
You.
Yeah, she's right. She's 100% right. And that's why Sarah is going to be joining us for future episodes of different elements of programming here on Anti-Quote Studios. So what you need to do is like this video, share with all your best friends, and subscribe to the channel. Ring that bell, too, so you get notified of when the videos go up or they go live in this case. So I think you're going to like the way you look after watching or listening to this channel, I guarantee it. Sarah, if someone wants to know more about you and check out your insanity and your dissertations and your analysis of how horror is the greatest genre known to man, even though I would vehemently disagree, I still respect it, but I wouldn't say it's the best genre of all time. But if someone wants to know more about you and the great stuff that follows, where can they follow you specifically?
Well, everyone's entitled to their wrong opinion. It's fine. They can find me on TikTok, Instagram, and surprisingly YouTube. I'm mostly YouTube Shorts. I'm Sarah Does Bookish Stuff. And then I'm also on Bindery. So I'm sarahdoesbookishstuff.binderybooks.com. And I do my written stuff there. So I do write analyses and things too. So you can find me on Bindery, TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube. And Facebook now. Oh my God. I keep forgetting I also have Facebook. Sarah Does Bookish Stuff. Username across the board.
Fantastic. I've never actually heard of Bindery, so that's a bit new to me, but it sounds interesting.
Mm-hmm. It's like Substack for books.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Because I am familiar with Substack. I've seen how that works, which is cool.
Yeah, Substack's fine. I think Bindery's cool. Bindery's awesome. It's an awesome concept. They're kind of an up-and-coming platform. They keep their creator pool pretty small.
Really?
They're all written stuff, and they're like, you can embed stuff if you want, but like they're really cool. If you there's like they offer at a certain point, they'll let you do an imprint publisher. So I could become a mini publishing house for like indies that I really like, and like they would invest the money into them based off of my word, which is terrifying to me. But yeah, so it's a really cool concept. I really like it. I think Bindery's awesome. I think more people should check it out.
So in the words of that PSA we all heard as kids, the more you know. You remember that?
Yeah. Oh yeah, the rainbow.
You remember that, don't you? Yeah, Sarah remembers. Sarah remembers. It's good. Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, it's old school, but it's spectacular. Thank you so much, Sarah. I'm going to talk to you here again momentarily, so don't go away because I still got some stuff I want to share with you. So, my name is Ryan. You can follow me on all forms of social media simply at Anti-Quote Channel. Where am I pointing to? Where is it? There it is on the bottom part of the screen here. At Anti-Quote Channel. Links are in the description. Links to where you can follow Sarah and the incredible things that she's doing are located in the description below. Also, we got a lot of merch, guys, and it's on sale too because the seasons are changing. So we got hoodies, we got shirts, T-shirts, shirts that you can cut the collars off of and stylize them as your own, Sarah. Yeah, if you're into that sort of thing, which I kind of think you are. It's in a Redbubble store, and it's all on sale. And we have stickers you can add to your water bottles, or we have coffee mugs, we have notebooks, all kinds of wonderful things in our merch store on Redbubble, which, by the way, that's found in the description of this video down below. If you want to check out my short story, it's called Wolf of the West, which got published as a part of the Veritas Entertainment's Western Tales Volume 1. It's on Amazon in ebook, paperback, hardcover, all that jazz. It's all there. It's a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun writing it, and it's 16 different writers, 15 different stories. If you want to introduce somebody to the Western genre, I think this is a good place to do it. Veritas Entertainment. Visit them online at veritasent.com for more information on that. Movie watch-alongs on Friday night, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Anti-Quote is on Saturdays, 12 p.m. Eastern Time. No, I'm not going to answer that comment, Pink Cashmere, but it's funny, though. And other elements of programming will be updated as we go along, so thank you so much. And by the way, help us get to 1,000 followers on the Anti-Quote Channel Instagram page, because once we hit 1,000 followers, we're going to do a giveaway here on this show. And I want to do it. I want to give away some swag. I'm going to give away some free stuff. So help us reach 1,000 followers on Instagram, ASAP, at Anti-Quote Channel on Instagram. Thank you so much. Appreciate all of you. I'm grateful for all these shows. I'm grateful for all the guests. I'm grateful for Sarah for spending time with us and hanging out with us and answering your questions. And we hope you'll join us again here real soon. Do not forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, ring the bell to notify when the videos go up or they go live. Remember, life is better when supporting indie creators from all over the world. Take a look.
Author Cindy Kepp is writing on the edge. Books include Remnant in the Stars, The Loudest Actions, Lines of Succession, Mindstorm, Condemned Courier, the Yerushalayim series, and Animal Eye. Find author Cindy Kepp at CKOEPP.com today.
Good morning. Oh, and in case I don't see you, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.